first tonight, one experienced pilot is sharing his review of public flight data on the Independence Day plane crash.
Likely the left engine failed, just based on how we can see the data.
Plus, a local entertainer is describing Friday's horrific tragedy as a sense of deja vu. Our Danielle Miller explores why. And then, a woman is hospitalized and a 22-year-old man is dead tonight, following Grand Bahama's 8th traffic fatality for the year. And then in our news at 7:30, frustration is reaching a boiling point as rolling blackouts continue. Tonight, the growing outcry and calls for answers spilling into the political arena. We have the details for these stories and more as our news live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. As investigators continue working to determine what caused the deadly Independence Day plane crash in North Andros, one experienced pilot says his review of public flight data does not point to pilot error. Using graphs comparing the accident's flight with 19 previous approaches, he says the pilot had a history of flying the route consistently until something changed during that final approach. Our Delvardo Emmanuel picks up the story.
Likely the left engine failed, just based on how we can see the data.
Paul Arner is a professional pilot and the owner and president Trans Island Airways. His conclusions, he says, come from his review of the public flight data from the aircraft's previous trips between Nassau and San Andros. He compared the last 20 flights, looking for anything that stood out. Using this graph, the gray line shows the pilot's previous approaches, while the red line shows the accident flight.
He's actually pretty consistent. The turns seem very structured, and that sort of gives me a little bit more confidence in saying what I'm about to say and removing it from a pilot error perspective.
The red line shows the aircraft making a shorter approach, turning toward the runway earlier than it did on most of the previous flights. Another graph tracking the aircraft speed also shows a sharp difference. While the other flights showed a gradual and consistent reduction in speed, the accident flight showed a much steeper drop as the aircraft approached the runway. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority has already revealed that the landing gear and flaps were extended, suggesting the aircraft was configured to land. Arner says if an engine failed at that point, the pilot would have been low to the ground, with the aircraft already producing what's called significant drag.
We don't know how much baggage or luggage or equipment, but because it was a band, we can infer that it was probably a lot. And it was in a very high workload period. I believe someone said that the accident was 100% preventable. I would actually say statistically that's not an accurate statement. Even some of the best pilots, when faced with that situation at that altitude, with those outside conditions in an airplane that's certified under Part 23, there are going to be moments where that's not recoverable.
Arner says the data cannot confirm exactly what happened inside the cockpit, and he acknowledges that only the official investigation can determine the real cause of the crash. But if investigators find that the engine did fail, he says attention will likely turn to the aircraft's maintenance history.
A commercial operator is supposed to have an aircraft maintenance program that's approved by the authority that's based on the aircraft. Was this airplane following that as an aging airplane?
As recently as Tuesday, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority admitted there's still a lot more investigation and analysis needed to determine what led to this deadly crash. Reporting for our news, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Thanks so much for that, Delvardo. While the Independence Day plane crash was sadly not the first tragedy to rock the entertainment industry. In this next report, our Danielle Miller sat down with members of that community who described Friday's horrific news as a sense of deja vu. She also takes a look at 3 eerily similar incidents that have rocked the sector.
So it hit all of us hard, and to see it happen again almost the same way.
Well-known sound engineer Rashad McPhee, better known as Shadi, describing the news of the July 10th plane crash that killed 10 people, including members of the local entertainment community, as deja vu. He recalls that nearly 16 years ago he received a call from his father informing him that his mentor and godbrother had passed away in a deadly plane crash. He was referring to the October 5th, 2010 incident that killed 9 men heading to San Salvador.
he was like, sit down, I got something to tell you. And I sat on the edge of the bed, and he was like, Natdo was involved in a plane crash, Nat Levad. And he was like, you think everybody is dead?
According to the Air Accident Investigation and Prevention Unit Civil Aviation Department report released in 2011, the Cessna 402C aircraft crashed in Lake Colony shortly after takeoff from Linden Pinland International Airport. The pilot, co-pilot, and 7 passengers tragically passed away. The report also reveals 3 air operator certificate holders at the domestic section of LPIA stated that on the day of the accident, one of the victims approached each of them individually at different times, requesting a quote and their availability to conduct a charter flight to Coburn Town, San Salvador. A similar scenario unfolded nearly a decade earlier. On August 25th, 2001, a plane crash claimed the life of international recording artist Aaliyah and 8 others, including the pilot. According to the accident report released in 2006, witnesses reported that the pilot and members of the group argued about the number of passengers and the amount of bags to be loaded on the aircraft. Both reports concluded that there was a loss of control of the aircraft. In all 3 incidents, the aircraft involved was the Cessna 402. Experts say this aircraft can accommodate a considerable amount of weight for its category, but it requires strict compliance with its weight and balance limitations. This has left some to wonder if weight was a contributing factor in Friday's fatal crash. It was a question reporters asked Air Accident Investigation Authority officials on Tuesday.
At this time, we cannot provide any findings, conclusion, analysis, or probable cause.
Sources within the entertainment sector have admitted the eagerness to complete a job can impair judgment. Now, this may not be the case pertaining to the tragedy on July 10th, but during a discussion between myself and band leader of Baha Men, Isaiah Taylor, he says entertainers must prioritize safety.
And let the promoter know this is my rider. And let them know you're not flying charter. You're not flying these little planes.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much for that look back, Danielle. Well, now as that Independence tragedy still sits heavy on the hearts of Bahamians, our news is back in Andros today. Our Joshua Williams speaking to several residents on the island about the tragedy and its impact on the community. Our Joshua Williams joins us live from Andros. Josh, how was it today?
Good evening, Megan. Right now, it's a quiet evening in Andros. In fact, it's just the Sunflies that are joining me here outside of the San Andros Airport. And we were busy from the time we stepped on the ground about 10 a.m. this morning. We were able to travel throughout several communities in North Andros, such as Low Sound. We went to Count Sound, we went to Nicholstown, and the mood was quite the same. Normally, on the island, you would see persons sitting outside of bars and restaurants having fun, just talking. It was quiet today, not much people that were outside, and it reflects a somber mood that this community has been in since a tragic plane crash on Saturday. And what also stood out to me after we spoke to some residents, we were able to make that trek in the pine forest back to this site. Of course, investigators have been working throughout the weekend. What really stood out to me was that the yellow crime scene tape surrounded the plane. That was something new. Some of the branches, smoke was still coming from some of them, and it really dawned upon my cameraman and I that this was where the 10 residents spent their last moments as that plane went down. And as I went into Low Sound and I spoke to some of the residents there, just making small talk around the Kong San on the beach, I sat down and I spoke with a woman, and I didn't expect for her to say that I know exactly how these residents feel. She revealed to me that it was actually one of her sons had died in a similar plane crash on a flight from Andros to New Providence back in 2018. Of course, we'll have more from her coming up in our 7:30 newscast, Megan.
Thanks so much for that, Josh. Again, our Joshua Williams down there in Andros. He will be in our news at 7:30. And on Friday, join us for a special presentation from Our TV Presents, a tribute to the victims of Flamingo Air Flight C6FLX. It's a special half hour remembering the lives lost, the memories left behind, and taking a look at the unanswered questions. Watch the broadcast this Friday at 6:30 p.m. on Channel 212 with an exclusive online premiere at 8 p.m. on our news, Facebook, and YouTube pages, and a repeat on Channel 212 Sunday at 8 p.m. Well, a fatal car crash in Grand Bahama took the life of a 22-year-old man and sent a woman to the hospital. Police on that island say it happened around midnight on Ludford Road after a gray Honda Pilot collided with a gray Kia Rio. At the scene last night, Inspector Ian Saunders from Grand Bahama's Traffic Division releasing details about the island's 8th traffic fatality for the year.
The crash involved a Kia vehicle traveling west along Ludford Road in the left westbound lane, and another vehicle, which would have been a Honda Pilot, traveling east along Ludford Road in the left eastbound lane. As a result, a collision occurred at the junction. As a result of the collision, both parties sustained injuries. One personnel was transferred to the Ram Memorial Hospital by ambulance. The other person succumbed to the injuries at the scene.
And according to the Grand Bahama officer, the island is already approaching double-digit traffic deaths, a trend they find concerning.
At this present time, we had 13 fatals for the last year. At this present time now, we are now up to 8 for the year for Grand Bahama.
Well, as the community rallies to help families left homeless by the devastating Baileytown Bimini fire, the Adventist Layman Services and Industries North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, along with several community partners, launched a major relief initiative on Monday. Our Evelyn Ferguson tells us more.
More than a week after a devastating fire in Baileytown left several Bimini families homeless, help is now on the way. This as the ASI North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists is hosting a donation drive from July 13th through the 15th between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. to support those affected. President Kiranda Roll is calling on Bahamians to come together to support the families as they begin the difficult process of rebuilding their lives after the tragic blaze.
Today, we are appealing to the people of Grand Bahama and throughout the entire Bahamas to help these families by donating clothing for children and adults, new underwears and socks, shoes and slippers, toiletries, beddings, household cleaning items, non-perishable food items, and baby supplies. Donations will be accepted at the Evangeline Jervis Community Service and Distribution Center and Hurricane Shelter.
Support is also coming from the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama. President Keldra Pinda says Rotary clubs across the island have joined forces to purchase a saltwater firefighting pump for Bimini, an initiative aimed at strengthening the island's ability to respond to future fires and better protect residents.
We are also asking for every Rotarian, every Rotaractor, Interact Club member, Early Act, get your families involved. Along with the church, we are collecting items.
And initiatives like this aren't new to the Pilot Club of Lucaya. President-elect and PR coordinator Deborah Pratt says their mission is to make a positive change through friendship and service. And with Bimini being their island neighbor, Pratt says the club is proud to join the effort and do its part to support families as they recover from the devastating fire.
We will also be assisting with packaging items to be shipped to Bimini. So we are encouraging all pilots to get involved and let us do our part in serving our communities.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Evelyn Ferguson.
Awesome initiative. In news from the court, a man accused of making a sex tape has denied a voyeurism charge. 34-year-old Tracy Knowles of Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, is accused of secretly recording a woman having sex with him in October and November of 2025. Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe set his bail at $5,000. Knowles returns to court on September 28th for trial. Well, we've still got more news to share tonight, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and happy Wednesday evening, everybody. Another warm and scorching day around the island's temperatures back into the 90s with those triple digits indices, so it's very warm on the outside there. 87 degrees is our current temperature, warm and hazy, east-southeast winds at 6 miles per hour. Feels like temperature, feels like 96 degrees on the outside. Right now, it is still very warm. 89 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 86 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 87s, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key, the Berry Islands, Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. 88 in Nicholstown, North Andros, here in the capital, 87 here as well. 87 in Kemps Bay, pick up 86s, Arthurstown, Kid Island, Black Point, Exuma Key, Deadman's Key, Long Island, a pair of 85s, Georgetown, Exuma, Port Nelson, Rum Key. Over in Coburn Town, San Salvador, 84 degrees, and into the southeast Bahamas, we picked that 84 up again. In Duncan Town, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, 85 there. Delectable Bay Acklins, Abrahams Bay, Meguana, Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands, all 86, and down south, Matthewtown, Inagua, we got the warm spot down there with 88 degrees. Satellite radar composite, rigidified pressure at the surface and the loft still dominating our weather. We do have an upper level low that's just to the west of us, but some high level moisture moving with the tropical wave down near the Yucatan Peninsula. That's spreading across area, filtering some of the sunshine, but not producing any rainfall actually in terms of any moisture. And we are going to continue these patterns throughout the remainder of the week as that Saharan dust and that high pressure ridge continues to keep us rather toasty. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a second look at our weather when we come back.
Coming up in sports, baseball heavy day from Little League to the minors, all the way to the big leagues.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart.
Welcome to R Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. We're a couple days into the tournament. Team Bahamas has had some emotional highs and some disappointing lows. Little League baseball in this region is ridiculously tough and ridiculously stressful. Team Bahamas still has a shot at Williamsport. They'll just need 2 historic wins to get there. Light work, right? Freedom Farm Little League is headed to the playoff round of the Caribbean Region Tournament in Puerto Rico, keeping the dream of reaching the Little League World Series very much alive. So apparently, sticking up for a teammate will get you a little suspension or whatever. But that was the perfect motivation Ian Lewis needed to make some big plays. He came back to the Pensacola Blue Wahoos lineup after 3 days and wasted absolutely no time reminding people what he can do. Home run number 7. Lewis went deep in the 7th inning against the Montgomery Biscuits, hitting a shot to right center field. Don't let the All-Star game distract you from the fact that the Yankees got it together and took momentum into the break. And don't look now, but Jazz is becoming a leader. A few weeks ago, Yankee fans were ready to hit the panic button, and I mean justifiably so. But thanks to the bats coming alive, the Yankees headed into the All-Star break, winning 5 of their last 6 games. A couple clutch homers from Jazz, and he's one of the reasons the Yankees have been turning things around. He headed into the break hitting .223 with 13 homers, 37 RBI, and 26 stolen bases. 3rd in the majors and 8 behind the league lead. The Yankees are back at it in the regular season on Friday night, and just when things were going great, they welcomed the league-leading Los Angeles Dodgers to Yankee Stadium for a 3-game series. That'll do it for sports. No summer content lull for us. We're back on our news at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As the U.S. House passed a bill Tuesday that would make daylight saving time permanent. Plus, days of back-and-forth strikes by the U.S. and Iran across the Middle East could tip back into an all-out war. And the Ebola outbreak in Congo is now the fastest-growing one in history, and new challenges are still emerging. We have the details when our news returns.
Independence Day celebration was marred by unimaginable tragedy. A plane gone down, lives cut short. RTV presents Megan Shepherd in a special program, a tribute to the people of Flamingo Air Flight C6FLX, their stories and the questions that remain. Join us this Friday at 6:30 p.m. on Channel 212. Watch the exclusive online premiere at 8 p.m. on the R News Facebook and YouTube pages, and see it again Sunday at 8 p.m. Remember with us as we share their stories only on our TV.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392, Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting theroyalbahamaspoliceforce.org.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get it.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. There will be no turning back the clock in the United States if the House has its way. The House passed a bill Tuesday that would make daylight saving time permanent. Proponents argue the bill would provide more daylight during the times that Americans are most active. Meantime, detractors said permanent daylight saving time would lead to darker and potentially more hazardous winter mornings, where children will be waiting for school buses and parents will be driving to work in darkness. Daylight saving time is that period between spring and fall when clocks in most of the United States are set 1 hour ahead of standard time. States could opt out if their respective legislators do so before the bill's enactment. The Senate would also have to pass the bill before it becomes law. The U.S. reimposed a naval blockade on Iran and intensified its airstrike campaign Wednesday in retaliation for Tehran's attacks on ships trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. The American strikes hit an Iranian army barracks, killed at least 7 troops, and wounded hundreds of people across the country. Days of back-and-forth strikes by the U.S. and Iran across the Middle East and renewed threats to the waterway crucial to global energy supplies have shredded the interim deal to end the conflict, and the region could tip back into an all-out war. Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard threatened to halt all energy exports from the Middle East over the blockade. Dozens of people working at an Ebola treatment center in a general hospital in northeast Congo went on strike Monday, accusing authorities of failing to pay their wages and bonuses since the outbreak began in May. The hospital was shuttered by protesting staff who blocked the road leading to the medical facility and burned tires in front of the main gate. The striking staff includes epidemiologists, case investigators, drivers, and grave diggers.
Some of the center's health workers and those working on the ground began striking last week. The Ebola outbreak is now the fastest growing one in history, and new challenges are still emerging. Over 2,000 cases, including over 750 deaths, have been confirmed. Jamaican reggae singer Fantan Mojah has died at the age of 49, just weeks before his 50th birthday. The Rastafarian entertainer passed away on Tuesday evening at the University Hospital of the West Indies in Kingston after suffering complications related to his heart. A close associate of the singer said his health had deteriorated rapidly in the days leading up to his death. Born on August 5, 1976, in White Hill, St. Elizabeth, Fantan Mojah became known for his conscious reggae music, spiritual lyrics, and strong connection to the Rastafari movement.
In our news at 7:30, hundreds gather for a candlelight vigil at the Pond Bar, honoring the North Andros plane crash victims. Our Delvado Emmanuel was there. The details coming up when our news continues.
Transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, industry leaders, cultural icons, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episode on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
Welcome back. To watch any of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs or join the conversation at Our News Bahamas on your favorite social media platform. That's going to do it for our news at 7. I'm Megan Shepherd, handing it over to our Jerome Sawyer for the latest headlines. Jerome.
Well, thank you very much, Megan. Well, you know, it's been a busy day for us. We are back in North Andros tonight with our Joshua Williams, and also coming up tonight, a very special story about things made in the Bahamas. Here's a look at your latest headlines.
Ahead tonight on our News Live at 7:30, Friday's crash in Andros reopens wounds of another deadly plane crash on that island in 2018. Our Joshua Williams is on the ground as this family island community must now grapple with yet another deadly plane crash at its doorstep. He joins us live tonight. Then, grief giving way to remembrance Tuesday night as hundreds gather at the pond for a candlelight vigil to honor plane crash victims. And then, out of turn or out of context, a minister's message to her constituents about the ongoing power outages goes viral and is now at the center of the public's latest outrage over the ongoing blackouts.
And they went off from like 10:15 Sunday night. Monday came, nothing, no word was said, nothing. Came back home Monday afternoon, 6 o'clock. Current was still off.
And then later, Independence Day might be over, but it's never too late to celebrate things Bahamian. Our News Live at 7:30 starts in a moment.
Hospitals reimagine primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations in Freeport and 8 Mile Rock, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go, on the God one. People, yeah, we are equal.
Welcome to our News Live at 7:30. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Italia Hall. We begin on the ground in North Andros tonight, where old memories are surfacing with a new tragedy as that community grapples with Friday's tragic plane crash. For those who knew the 10 victims, it's a new painful reality, but for others, it has reopened some wounds of another tragic crash back in 2018. We have turned our lenses back into that community where a passenger plane crashed on Independence Day, killing everyone on board. Our Joshua Williams sat down in Andros today to begin a series of reports on the aftermath there. He joins us live tonight with the story of a low-sound mother who lost her son back in 2018. Josh, I want to get started, though, with the mood on the ground today.
Well, good evening, Jerome. Besides the sounds of birds around me and the occasional car that's passing by on Queens Highway, this community completely silent. It's a good representation of the general mood of this North Andros community. Of course, the tragedy that would have struck this area on Saturday still resonating with the residents, and that's what I saw as I made my way through the communities, especially through Low Sound and Nicholstown. One of the victims, Quentin Myers, his family lives in Low Sound. As a matter of fact, when I arrived at his residence, family members were sitting on the porch having a family meeting. Of course, understandably not wanting to speak with the media, but they were still cordial and nice, putting on rather a brave face. And then we continued traveling through North Andros, eventually making that 20-minute drive through that dirt road. Walking in the pine forest for another 10-15 minutes, where the site, there's still smoke coming from this site. It's taped off, but it still tells the story of the tragedy that happened. And then in Low Sound, I met a woman sitting outside of a snack shop. I wasn't really looking necessarily for a story, just wanted to sit down, have a conversation. And we were just talking about the tragedy that would have occurred. And when she told me she knew exactly how they felt, I asked her what she meant, and this is what she had to say.
I think this just is too much. Government need to do something. You understand? Government need to do something.
The fatal Independence Day plane crash in North Andros, still heavy on the hearts of thousands of Bahamians. Killed were 10 people, including a teen, Androsians, a popular DJ and bandmates. And while the nation mourns the loss, few can relate to the pain like Algerian Russell, who lost her son Valentino Knowles in the 2018 crash. It was a mother's worst nightmare. Knowles was among 6 who tragically died after a Bahamian registered light aircraft that crashed in waters off the east coast of Mastic Point, North Andros. At the time, all that was recovered of the aircraft was a tire and pieces of the fuselage. The few remains of her son had to be cremated, and a back and forth with lawyers and courts not making things any easier. Now, years later, with a crash affecting this very same community, she says it's resurfaced unimaginable pain.
When I heard about the crash, I cried because it brings my eyes back to me fresh. So when I hear about it, I cry because it brings my eyes back to me fresh. And he leave two children. He leave a son, he's 6 years now, and a daughter 20. He leave 2 children behind.
As for the most recent crash, the aircraft that went down on Independence Day was registered to Flamingo Air, and while it's unrelated, Russell tells me due to a lack of reliable, consistent air service on the island, she believes some pilots, known as hackers, come and prey on those desperate to get a flight out. She says in addition to Western Air, which comes 3 times a week, the government needs to do more to ensure family islanders have more reliable transportation options.
I'd like to see Bahamas Air come back.
Bring Bahamas Air back.
Because Western Air is only like 3 days out of the week, so I'll be happy if Bahamas Air come back.
Frustration set aside, the pain is still real. She says the community now has to rally.
I find peace with the Lord, so whatever I say, whatever Lord I go through, I want you to give me strength. And the Lord did give me strength to go on through my time of bereavement. So I say to the family of those 10 victims, I ask God to give you the strength, and God can give you the strength, and whatever you need, God can supply you.
Now, of course, Jerome, last weekend things were unfolding quickly. You know, our news team, including yourself, we came to the island just to get that the first reaction to the aftermath of exactly what happened, and then we had to go. This time we want to spend time in the community, so we'll be here until Friday morning. We'll be going to the local restaurants, local bars, speaking to residents. We also have avid aviators, former CEO of Sky Bombers, Randy Butler, is on the island. He's passionate about how he feels about aviation safety in general. A number of family island administrators, councils, residents, a lot of persons still to talk to. So we invite you at home to stay tuned to our news over the next few days as we continue to follow this story. Jerome?
All right, thank you very much, Joshua Williams here. Thank you very much for great reporting tonight, Josh. As he said, be sure and stay with us this week for more reports from North Andros as we get really deeper into the story and speak to more folks in the community. Well, as the nation continues to mourn those 10 lives lost in Friday's Flamingo air crash in North Andros, grief gave way to remembrance Tuesday night as hundreds gathered at the pond for a candlelight vigil. Family members, friends, government officials and supporters coming together to celebrate their lives. Our Delvado Emmanuel was also there and recaps the somber event.
It was a night of praise, worship, and reflection. But above all, it was a night of remembrance. Tuesday night, hundreds of family members, friends, colleagues, and supporters went back to where it all started for the young musicians, at the pond. A place usually filled with music, laughter, and celebration on the weekends. This time, attendees came to mourn. Candles lit the venue, hugs replaced handshakes, and tears flowed freely as loved ones gathered to honor the 10 people who lost their lives in the North Andros plane crash. Among those remembered were 5 members of the Pond Band. Band leader Giovanni McKenzie, Rashad Storr, Mateo Winder, Tony Gillard, and Travis Johnson. Also honored were DJ Melvin Henfield, also known as DJ Fresh International, Androsians Quinton Myers and Macaro Roll, pilot Franklin Cambridge, and the youngest victim, 16-year-old Nicholas Oliver Jr. Each of the 10 was represented on stage by loved ones. The first tribute came from Reverend Anime Hinsey, Mateo Winder's grandmother.
But Mateo, I never had to reprimand him. I never got a bad report about Mateo from preschool, primary school, neither high school. Never.
Throughout the evening, one story after another painted a picture of 10 lives that touched countless others. Singer Meredith Williams sharing how Giovanni McKenzie believed in her when others didn't.
And my last experience with Travis and Gio, well, last Sunday, Travis must he felt something as Travis sing and sing and sing and dance and dance and dance.
Earlier in the evening, the ceremony featured musical performances and tributes. Bahamian artist Nishi LS performed an emotional medley of gospel songs. The vigil was organized by the Pond production manager DJ Rev, who said the evening represents who the Pond Band was.
If they were to come back and say something, they would say, hey, carry on. Carry on. These people died happy going to Andros to represent the Bahamian culture.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Thanks much, Delvado. Well, this Friday, join us for an R News special presentation. RTV Presents with Megan Shepherd as she leads a tribute to the victims of Flamingo Air Flight C6FLX, the lives lost, the memories left behind, and the unanswered questions. You can watch the broadcast this Friday starting at 6:30 p.m. right here on Channel 212 with an exclusive online premiere at 8 p.m. on the R News Facebook and YouTube pages, and you can catch it again on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Out of order or out of context? Well, a message from a minister to her constituents is now at the center of the latest public outrage over the ongoing power outages. Her criticism at the power company's response and the ongoing hardship consumers are facing, sparking fresh debate as the online message goes viral. Our Chanasa Outen gets us caught up.
It's a bunch of foolishness and they need to fix it.
Those words echoing the mood of many Bahamians who said their patience has finally run out. For weeks, communities across New Providence have been plunged into darkness, left to battle the summer heat without relief. What were once occasional interruptions have become long, unpredictable outages, turning homes into ovens and leaving families to sweat through yet another restless night. The growing outage has now crossed the political line, as Golden Gate's Member of Parliament Pierre Glover Roll says she spent the night standing with constituents while they endured hours without electricity. In a statement to residents via the constituency WhatsApp channel, she said, "Families are losing hundreds of dollars in groceries. Parents are struggling to care for young children in stifling conditions. Seniors and persons living with chronic illnesses are being forced to endure dangerous levels of heat." Glover Rose says she's written to the Bahamas Power and Light demanding a full explanation for the outages, a timeline for repairs, and regular updates to residents, also requesting a meeting with BPL's executive and technical teams. But for residents, the answers can't come soon enough.
And they went off from like 10:15 Sunday night. Monday came, nothing, no word was said, nothing. Came back home Monday afternoon, 6 o'clock. Current was still off.
For this resident, it's an all too familiar cycle.
How much infrastructure is there going to be every year? It's infrastructure. People still dying of heat. Eczema going on. Children with different problems. As you say, elderly person's medication.
And she's not alone.
It's too hard to be turning off people's power. Because people got young babies at home even know them. Imagine a young baby home with no power, no fan to blow on that child. You can imagine how the neighbors around the house where that baby is feeling. They ain't even in the house with the baby, and they have to have that baby cry.
Energy and Utilities Minister JoBeth Colby Davis has repeatedly said that the outages are the result of critical infrastructure upgrades needed to strengthen the country's electrical grid. Speaking on the sidelines of the New Providence Gas LNG groundbreaking, the minister said the disruptions could continue until the end of August, leaving Bahamians to bear the crisis for the remaining summer months.
We spoke about the foundational updates and the new substations that are being built, and some of that is related to circuits being online so they could complete the foundational work. They're working to complete that, and hopefully by the end of August that should all be done.
Now, in an update to her constituents, Glover Roll said that BPL CEO told her due to a major outage at the Blue Hill Power Station, that is what triggered the outages. However, power has since been restored. Now, officials are saying that these constant disruptions could be the price to pay for a stronger electrical grid for tomorrow. But for Bahamians suffering in today's heat, that promise offers very little comfort. What residents are saying they need now is not just explanation, but a reliable power source. Reporting for Our News, I'm Chanasa Outen.
Well, a man has denied failing to declare the amount of money he was taking to Haiti to Bahamian customs officers. 68-year-old Gabriel Pierre was arrested at the London Pinling International Airport on July 14th before he boarded a flight to Cape Haitian, when he was allegedly found with $26,560. Now, passengers traveling with $10,000 or more are required to declare it. Pierre has been granted $2,500 bail. His trial is set to begin on September 28th before Assistant Chief Magistrate Shaker Seville. Well, with that, we turn our attention now to our first look at temperatures across the country. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center tonight. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Jerome, and a happy Wednesday evening, everybody. Another warm evening setting up for us on the outdoors. Temperatures in the upper 80s, 87 degrees, and we'll call it hazy. We still have that Saharan dust out there. East-southeast winds at 6 miles per hour Your feels like temperature very warm, 96 degrees on the outside. Satellite radar composite, high level moisture moving in across our area from a tropical wave down towards the southwest of us in the Caribbean. That's just filtering the sunshine, not producing any rainfall. It's still remaining rather dry, as that Saharan dust is going to limit any terms of any rainfall or clouds. Most of the moisture out there, some high level clouds. That high and that Saharan dust will stay with us for the remainder of the week, so we're looking at those toasty temperatures. Heat advisory in place for the entire chain of islands. So once again, you've been hearing this for almost the entire week. Stay hydrated, make sure you take frequent breaks from the sunshine. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us, we'll take a look at the tropics, which is becoming a little more active for the end of the week, and your extended forecast still to come.
Still to come on our news tonight, a grand celebration for the folks over at Water and Sewerage. Plus, Independence Day is over, but it's always the perfect time to celebrate Bahamian-made art and craft. We'll show you the perfect spot for all things Bahamian. That's coming up when our news returns.
Place Independence, it's that time again. Yeah, sun's so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go. On the God one, people, yeah, we are equal. 21 senses, so high without faith.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. They're going to Marvel.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
The Paint Place Independent.
Water and Sewerage Corporation celebrating its 50th anniversary in grand style yesterday at its University Drive headquarters here in Nassau. The Golden Jubilee featured a time capsule installation preserving 5 decades of nation building while looking boldly to the future. Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, and other dignitaries joined staff and stakeholders for the historic event, praising Water and Sewerage as a strategic partner in building a stronger, more resilient Bahamas, was Deputy General Manager Cyprian Gibson.
Every day, everywhere, every island, rock and key, the water must be on. This has been our mantra after 50 years of service. Starting with New Providence and Andros, and we heard it before, now more than 26 islands and keys, more than 60,000 customers, more than 250,000 households throughout the Bahamas. Indeed, we are proud to be the water providers of choice for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Coming up in sports, we get started in Puerto Rico, where our Little Leaguers are in a dogfight to get to Williamsport. Ian Lewis back on the field and making plays, and Jazz should have been playing last night, but we'll talk about the numbers headed into the break.
Reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
When I wake up in the morning and I take a walk outside. The Pink Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go. On the God one, people, yeah, we are equal. 21 senses, so high without faith.
I'm very.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. We're a couple days into the tournament. Team Bahamas has had some emotional highs and some disappointing lows. Little League baseball in this region is ridiculously tough and ridiculously stressful. Team Bahamas still has a shot at Williamsport. They'll just need 2 historic wins to get there. Light work, right? Freedom Farm Little League is headed to the playoff round of the Caribbean Region Tournament in Puerto Rico, keeping the dream of reaching the Little League World Series very much alive. Earlier today, they completed round-robin play with a 12-1 win over the Dominican Republic for a 4-2 record. The Bahamas opened the tournament with a 7-6 nail-biter over the U.S. Virgin Islands. Then they took down the host team from Sabana Grande 3-1. Then came a couple of heartbreakers, an 8-7 loss to Bonaire, a 17-0 Mercy Rule win over the other Puerto Rican team, followed by a 1-0 loss in a pitcher's duel against Aruba. Where do we stand? The Bahamas is headed to the semifinal tomorrow. Win that and you're 1 win away from the most famous Little League tournament in the world. So apparently, sticking up for a teammate will get you a little suspension or whatever. But that was the perfect motivation Ian Lewis needed to make some big plays. He came back to the Pensacola Blue Wahoos lineup after 3 days and wasted absolutely no time reminding people what he can do. Home run number 7. Lewis went deep in the 7th inning against the Montgomery Biscuits, hitting a shot to right center field. Montgomery came back to tie it at 2. The Blue Wahoos had the winning run in scoring position in the bottom of the 9th before the Florida weather did what it always does in July, and they'll have to finish that one up on August 4th. In his first AA season, Lewis has the 7 homers, 26 RBI, and 24 stolen bases, continuing to climb the ladder in the Miami Marlins organization. Don't let the All-Star game distract you from the fact that the Yankees got it together and took momentum into the break. And don't look now, but Jazz is becoming a leader. A few weeks ago, Yankee fans were ready to hit the panic button, and I mean justifiably so. But thanks to the bats coming alive, the Yankees headed into the All-Star break, winning 5 of their last 6 games. A couple clutch homers from Jazz, and he's one of the reasons the Yankees have been turning things around. He headed into the break hitting .223 with 13 homers, 37 RBI, and 26 stolen bases. 3rd in the majors and 8 behind the league lead. The Yankees are back at it in the regular season on Friday night, and just when things were going great, they welcomed the league-leading Los Angeles Dodgers to Yankee Stadium for a 3-game series.
I mean, I just feel like we just got to be more together, you know. I feel like we're losing ourselves and we're splitting further and further apart, and I just feel like when we're together, we're unstoppable. Every time we go on a crazy run, it's because we're always together and having fun together as a team, and I feel like that's a big part of going on the baseball field and knowing your teammates and having your teammates back and trusting your teammates.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. The All-Star game was kind of missing something, right? A certain personality, certain flair, certain person's ability to enrage one very specific fan base by his mere existence. Baseball needs Jazz. If nothing else, just for those weirdos to hate watch.
And still ahead tonight, meteorologist Greg Thompson is back with your extended weather forecast. And later, Independence Day may be gone, but guess what? It's never too late to celebrate all things Bahamian. Our news is back in just a moment.
Painted right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go, on the God one. People, yeah, we are equal, 24 senses, so high without faith.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Kansas is the great house to play, even down to the staff is perfect. You're going to Marlboro.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
I wake up in the morning and I take a walk outside. I see the sunshine, I see a new day, and that feeling puts a smile right on.
This is our news. Welcome back. Activities starting to ramp up in the tropics. We are going to be watching two areas, one coming off the African coast, a very active tropical wave, Nash Hurricane Center giving that a low chance for formation over the next couple of days, so we'll continue to watch it as it tracks across the Atlantic. Then near to home, there's going to be a low pressure system right in the Gulf of Mexico in the mid and upper levels that's going to be moving across northern Florida. It's actually expected about a 10% chance for formation. By the end of the week and into the early part of next week, should be moving to the north of us and moving away. So we'll continue to watch that one as well as we are nearing almost the start of the peak of the season, August being the latter part of August being the peak of the season into early September. Closer to home, though, we have a couple of missing satellite frames here, but high pressure ridge is still in charge. That's going to continue to keep us with some stable conditions. Saharan dust still in place, and that's going to keep our temperatures rather toasty. So over the next couple of days, heat indices are expected for the entire chain to be in the triple digits. So a heat advisory is expected for the entire chain of islands. So if you plan on being out the outdoors, make sure you stay hydrated and drink lots. Wear some loose fitted clothing. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be southeast to south at 10 knots. Seas running 1 to 3 feet over open waters. High tide is at 9:35 tonight. Low tide takes place at 4:04 in the morning. For the central Bahamas, east to southeasterly flow at 10 to 15 knots expected. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. While in the southeast Bahamas, that caution flag remains in place. Easterly wind flow 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, just a few brief showers expected by Friday, some influx of moisture into our area, so we up those chances for some showers beginning Sunday, and that takes us into the early part of next week. The Saharan dust should be thinning off by the end of the week, but those temperatures are not going to drop. They're going to stay in the 90s with triple-digit indices expected throughout the entire period. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Well, in celebration of independence, we were all talking about things Bahamian. And while the celebration of independence itself may be over, the concept isn't. The accomplishments we've made, the food we eat, the music we make, and of course, the things we create. Tonight, I'll look at one Bahamian business that epitomizes the term made in the Bahamas. Nestled on Shirley Street in New Providence, just before the intersection with Kemp Road, Bahama Art and Handicraft has what is undoubtedly one of the most vast collections of authentically made Bahamian art and craft on the island. An 18-year-old business handed down from mother to daughter.
She took it upon herself to be the first all-Bahamian, authentically Bahamian gift shop and art museum in the Bahamas.
And what a treasure trove of Bahamian-made products it is. From plushies to purses, cutting boards, conch shell bowls, candles and coasters. Every shelf, a trip to a different destination.
And we have gathered from as many keys as we can, down to Rum Key, Andros, Long Island, Eleuthera, Bimini, San Salvador, everywhere really.
And their customer list is a mix of Bahamians and tourists.
The majority are Bahamians because it's word of mouth. It's really spread and helped us. When we first started, it was hard to kind of get them on board to support. They always thought foreign was better, but now they're realizing things have changed and they are really patronizing us.
And with almost 2 decades in business and an impressive assortment of authentic Bahamian-made products, it is still a struggle to get inventory.
We've purchased from over 850 vendors in the past 18 years. And I would say 5, if that, out of the 400 that we still have currently buy from, it's reliable. It's hard to get. And everything's handmade. Most people have their own jobs. This is either a hobby for them or a second income.
And so, the next time you're in the market for something Bahamian made, a stop on Shirley Street will definitely get you in the patriotic spirit. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jerome Sawyer. And I just want to say that I did walk away with quite a few items, including the candles. Don't ask me for my recommendations. The only thing I recommend is that you go and pay to visit and take a look for yourself. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's news. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jerome Sawyer. As always, thank you so much for spending the evening with us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, have yourself a safe and a wonderful evening.